All right, let's jump into it. What time we have? We got 9:42, just ticked over 9:43, 9th of August. All right, cool. So I'll start off with gold because it's on the chart here, and we can see that this really reacted very well yesterday. So if you sort of saw what I was doing yesterday, I was saying that look, we've got a bit of confluence here, and this is what you look for, particularly with these, the technical analysis side of it all. You've got the back test to the top side of this falling resistance. We broke through here on Wednesday, came back down here, tapped it into this lower level here, which is also on this horizontal. So we know that the people that are trading the horizontals, like the support along there, they're sort of looking at buying it here. They've had two options back here and here. And then we've just seen it really take off. And it was a great trade. You know what I mean? Like it just really, as you can see, pretty much from open, did a little kick down and then it just bang and just grinded up all the way through the day. So, I mean, look, we're not into the massive days, but that's what, 2% move, $47. So, from low to high. So it's a decent move actually now that I sort of look at it now, 47. So as I was saying yesterday, this is the level that I wanted to see beaten. Where is it? 24.20. So just to get to the top side over here. So I've seen a little bit of a sort of push up here. Obviously, it's just coming back a little bit earlier now. But this is that time of day where you can see they push things down a little bit. I wouldn't really pay too much attention to this here. 11 o'clock, where was it yesterday? So it was one of these moves over here. 11 o'clock is back to being that sort of hour where we have sort of volume coming into the metals market. It's either for a while, if we go back like a month or two or so, for a while there, it was just sell, sell, sell. Like, because like religiously they'd sort of come across 11 a.m. and just bang, dump it out. So, we saw yesterday a bit of buying coming into it, and obviously sort of, sort of tried to push down back again. You can see these top wicks over here, but it just obviously managed to sort of grind through all the way back up over to the top side here. So, look, I'll actually just while I'm doing this, because I've been talking about the gold silver ratio yesterday, and I was saying that sort of like, we want to be seeing a little bit of a push down in the gold silver ratio. So that is typically when you're going to be seeing more of a sort of bull market with the metals. So where we have gold silver ratio on the right over here. And look, it's one of those things. If you look at yesterday, that daily candle is in this sort of sense of this chart, it's a bearish day. It's pushing down. And as it pushes down, same like we said yesterday, the push down there, what happens with the metals market? It moves up to the top side. So, you know what I mean? Gold performed well. Let's just quickly flip across and have a look at silver as well, because silver also, as you can see, pushing up here, this came down, and throughout the day, silver had a very good day. And it really is, that sort of sprung back into life. It's consolidating near the highs at the moment. Let's get back onto one chart. It's consolidating near the highs here at the moment. This could almost be a little bit of a triangle, ascending triangle, setting up here, which could be seeing another move higher. I mean, look, there's a lot of sell pressure, particularly with silver. And also you're seeing this RSI is not looking like it's quite sort of flattening out to sort of spin back up as of yet. As of yet, we've sort of saw the same sort of thing over here. But and this is just on the 1 hour. But if you're looking at this and you sort of say, okay, where would a measured move be from here? It'd probably take it from this last move here. Like you could say up this, but no, I would say more. This would be your measured move here. You'd take this, this one here. You'd put it off that last push down, which is equivalent to pretty much this point just here, and this takes you back up over here. So 28.15 I would call as the measured move price target for this next little bit here. So let's mark it out just while we're here. Price target, cheers. Been off the screens for a while, a little bit slow with these things. So this little move up here, a little bit of a pennant. If we get a break up above here, you got to see that obviously there's a little bit of, and this again, I repeat myself every day because this is the point to emphasize these kind of things. Here is your support previously. Yeah, 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 yeah. We've marked it out. There's no question about it. Where does it stop? Well, it comes back up here on the other side of it, sells down there, and where does it stop? Sells down there. So you know what I mean? Like you don't need to reinvent the wheel with these things. You just need to sort of see, okay, there are the levels where sort of people, they were buying it, they're buying it, they're buying it. They obviously probably at some point maybe tried to buy it here as well. Breaks down. That was that big meltdown on Monday. Comes back up here. All these people that were around here, they're like, you know what, bang, chance to get out for zero, whatever, bang, start selling down again. And here we go, back up to this top load level over here again. So from this doesn't mean that, okay, we're necessarily going to go through. This is just a measured move price target. So if this does break out, this is a justifiable target based on this technical setup here as to where the market could be going to. So that's just all that is. So if we do get back above this level over here, it means we're regaining this. This is something that, obviously it held. This is through a period of, what's this, sort of Thursday, 25th, and no, sorry, how am I? 25th through till the 5th. So, 2 weeks or so. Obviously, it was back up over here, so I wasn't doing it. But for all intents and purposes, for 2 weeks, this level held. Excuse me. So if we do get back above this, it is something that is significant. And you're probably going to see some people that are shorting this. They are going to be going, oh dear, oh, you know what I mean? It's moving back. I don't know if they're saying oh dear, but they'll be going, oh, shit, whatever. However the traders talk. But there would be, in my opinion, some stops along this point here, which is good because this is going to fuel us if we want to go a little bit higher. This is where I reckon we'd have some stops sitting because the people that are shorting this, and remember, if you look at the bigger picture, shorts have been the play for the last couple of months, particularly with silver. So it has been doing very tough. So once we start to sort of put in, higher lows, sort of well higher highs, high lows, these sort of things, and we start to see potential of a sort of move back up here. Look, we've still got these bigger, higher time frame highs that we've got to take out, and that'll come in time. But the here and now would be that people sort of go, okay, look, we've got this big breakdown, second effort down. There's a lot of people that are shorting, new people that added into their shorts. If we start to get it back above this range over here, I would say that that's going to fuel it a little bit. And I would say that people would be like, look, you know what? I don't want to be out of this because if this goes past here, there is a sort of possibility that we can then, be looking at other highs. We could be looking at these levels over here. We could be looking at these levels up over here, which obviously, equate to here and here. So, as it sort of comes past this level here, do people want to sort of go, okay, I'm going to hold this short, their short position, which then would, be going eating into their profit or pushing them into drawdown, or are they going to go, look, you know what? Nah, enough of that. I'm out, and they sort of close their shorts. And remember, closing shorts, you got to buy back the position, so that's buying it. So you've got two segments of the market. Then you've got the people that are buying it, like because they're buying it and going up like this, like myself, and then you've got the people that are closing their short positions and they would be sort of adding to the fuel there. So I think this is a very reasonable sort of price target in the short term, 28.17, still 60 cents off. But remember, yesterday, what did we do? We did a buck move here. I mean, the cells, okay, you can't, I mean, look at the size of these cells. Like the cells when they've come down here, look, if you, that, so down to this low here, you know, there's a $2 move down, from this move down here, $1.28. This move down here, $2 move. So you know what I mean? These larger moves can happen. So it's not sort of all we're saying right now is 60 cents on a break of this level here. So I think 28.15 is a very reasonable sort of price target, particularly if we get the confirmation back up above this range. There's going to be little areas because you can see again, look, there was buying here, there was buying here. So, that could also present a little bit of resistance moving back up to here. But as you can see, it's only 2 times that it was touched here. Like this is held, multiple times over a longer time frame. There's only 2 touches of this. So the more it holds, the more sort of market participants at that level in that direction. So 2 times, this will be easier to shoot through than say this area here. So this is the main one that I'm sort of looking for if we get above this. So I'm going to put a little alert, actually where I've already sort of got it, above this thing here, and back up into that range. And I think if we get that little trigger, 28.15 would be the measure move price target I'd be looking for. Okay, back onto gold. As I said yesterday, 24.20, and that is pretty much what I was looking for there. We've got that little alert set up there. So, this time of the day, a little bit of a pushback, grab some liquidity, and then go up here. New high, this one here. Continuation. Call it 2030. Make it a round number. 2030, 2430. I always do that. 2430 would be confirmation we're going back higher. And then again, where are we looking? You just got to look. Where were the sellers last time? So we had little levels through here, which just happens to be where I put that little thing there, which is pretty much just by chance. Make this one zone. So this would be a little bit of an area. 2450 would be the next level that I'd be sort of looking to take a bit of gold off if we are moving up here. I mean, we do have these wicks over here, could present a little bit of a problem, but I would say if we do get this sort of push higher here, if we see that, we're in for another day of buying, that 2450 would be the level, because you can see that this is the sort of, I guess, effectively almost like a bit of a higher swing high. And this is where the market sort of thought on this little bounce back up here, they thought, no, that's good enough for us, and they dumped the hell out of it coming down over here. This is after NFP, was it? August 5th, yeah. So this was an NFP kind of push up over here. I remember I was in Rome walking down the street, sort of buying some shirts or something like this, and I was just like, oh, I've got to watch this, and it pushed through. I closed a bunch of positions and that, but of course you hold these other ones because you think, oh, here's the reaction, boom, it's moving back up, and little did we know that everything was going to fall apart so hard, so to come the Monday. Anyway, so 2430, that'd be confirmation for moving up over here. 2450 would be the next level that we look for. From here, again, I imagine this would see some sell down. As to how high, well, you got to kind of see how this structure comes up here. So that's kind of what I feel would happen. But as of course, this move here, if we go past 2430, it's not going to be a straight line. Most likely. It's going to be something more like, well, maybe not as stupid as this, but effectively that's the point. The point is that it's going to go up and down. It's going to create a level where we're going to find a smaller level of resistance along the way. So the smaller level of resistance, just for the point of this example, would be at this level here. And this is where we're going to look for a retest for the next move in this bigger move here. So we're going to see a little bit of jutting around. It's not going to go like this, whatever, like this. It doesn't matter. Beside the point. It comes up, finds a smaller resistance. We're going to use that if when we hit 2450 and see a bit of a sell-off, we're going to use this as another sort of base level to have another shot to see if we're going to see continuation of that leg going through on past 2450, coming up and testing those 76 levels. I've been quite sort of vocal about my sort of ideas on gold as to sort of go into 2500 plus. So, just time will tell. I mean, this could fail. I mean, this could come all the way back down over here. Anything can happen. We just got to trade what's happening at the time. So this is my little plan for it at the moment. I'm in gold positions. I'd be looking, as I said, to take some off around 2450 if we can get up around there. But we'll have to sort of see how things sort of play out, end of the week. It's been a very crazy week. So I think, certainly high is possible, but you've got to be aware that obviously we could also get smacked on this as well. So because Aussie, which chart was I using? This wasn't the chart we were using, was it? Maybe this one. Yeah, this is the one we were using. So we can see, this is that level, 24 days ago, 65.70 was the one that we were looking for. As you can see, sold down, sold down, sold down. Little test up over here. It was coming back. This little part here, so just going back, because this is actually, I covered this yesterday in the video, and this was like the 10-year, 10-year treasury. And we saw all risk got smacked on this, equity markets, all this kind of stuff, which brought it back down here. So we did test up above that 20, sort of 65.70. But of course then, it was coming back, and then that data came out, got smacked down, came back up here. As you can see, same again. where were the sellers? They were holding that level. They were holding that level. And once it goes, bang, it took off. So again, I'm in sort of Aussie positions. I'm looking up around 67. I think that this is a reasonable level. I mean, 66 is a round number. We can see that the market valued it a bit here. But if we go on to a higher time frame, this looks like a very fast move down over here. And this, as I said, when it was happening, you got negative divergence. You've got this sort of like selling pressure, not even getting under 20 on the stotch. This is very squeezable stuff for Aussie, and Aussie loves to squeeze things. I've covered it a bunch of times in that on weekly time frames where they've sort of hit these levels and then they just squeeze all the way up. So, yeah, I mean, again, anything can happen in the markets, but I think particularly since we cut through so quickly this time, I don't think it's beyond expectation that we could potentially see a fairly quick move towards 67, given the right conditions. US dollars selling off. Risk seems to be coming back into the markets a little bit. We're seeing some basing on and pushbacks on, the equity markets. If we flip across, we have a look on, here we go, taking out the lows and coming back up here to take out the bounce highs. Same on NASDAQ, same on Nikkei. So, risk is coming back into the market. And this is what I was saying yesterday with the video, that's what Aussie needs at the moment. We had Bullock out the other day, sounding very hawkish. They haven't put their money where their mouth is. If they put their money where their mouth is, we'd be up over here, back up at 67. But, they're sort of holding off. But she's talking the talk. That's partly the thing. So, talking the talk, US dollars selling down, risk is coming back into the market a bit. All these kind of things are playing into a factor that could see Aussie really appreciate back up to these levels. Because you've got to remember, we had this nice breakout here. We came through some very big sort of falling resistances from, going way back here. We put it onto the daytime, we can see how long these sort of resistances have been sort of holding. You know what I mean? These are the levels that we were sort of coming through. So we broke through here. It's come back down here, stopped everybody out. If it comes back up and goes past here, we're going much higher, in my opinion. I think sort of certainly things are sort of lining up for some Aussie strength. This is on a daily time frame here. RSI is very much charging up. If we see some continuation, I wouldn't be surprised if we sort of see a reasonably quick move back up to these levels over here, the 67, 67.50, over the coming weeks. I don't think it's like, again, it's not going to happen today, but that's my feeling with Aussie. It's got a few things lining up. You still need the dominoes to sort of fall into place or whatever it is, but certainly looking like it could be sort of continuing and pushing up a little bit here. In saying that, on a daily, as we can see here, that was the breakout level. You could see a little bit of a back test and push through, but I do believe we have more upside on Aussie to come. Copper, as I said, there's not really too much to say about copper. It came off this support area. We did identify this as, remember going back, this is the big resistance level for that big major breakout. So this is another thing. See this long? This is the same with Aussie. Actually, let me clean this up because I saw this and I thought this is a good example. This is a big sort of like, long-term falling resistance, as I just showed the same with Aussie a moment ago. Came through, tried to break out a bunch of times. Look what happened just before it had its major run. It came back down, looked like it was about to break out here, and bang, back down. Took out all the lows all the way along here, cleaned the book, and then turned around and then ran up over here. And remember, in a normal sort of scenario, Aussie and copper, they do trade pretty similar. Yes, copper just ran through the roof and Aussie didn't run through the roof as well. But given the fact that this is a long-term falling resistance, and if we flip back onto Aussie, long-term falling resistance, breaks through, looks like it's about to go, comes back down here, takes out the lows, fires back up. This is the level to beat. You beat 68, Aussie's going to be bid into the end of the year. That's my sort of prediction and how I'm going to be playing it. But back to copper. Yeah, we can see copper, short, medium term, whatever you want to call it. I would comfortably kind of sort of say that, you could almost call this a little bit of a channel area through here. Confluence again. So we're seeing it's sort of at the base over here, and this horizontal with this sort of falling support, a push back up over here. We've got the alert set up over 42. That's where you'd sort of want to see it move. If it gets over this, then you know what I mean. I think sort of we could be seeing a little bit more of a recovery, and this could be coming in step with a bit of an Aussie move as well. If you look at this actually now that I'm looking at it now, this is why it's important. Go over the charts all the time because there's so many things that you miss a lot of the time. Look at this move here. Let me just put this one. Bang. Look at the buying pressure on this last push down here. Here's a low. Here's a low. What's happening here? You got a low and it's pushing up. That's a negative divergence. Negative divergence. You know I love these things. These are the sort of like the turnaround things. So yeah, look, I've got longs on copper. I am giving it a shot over here. I've been in and out of it on the way back down here as well. But yeah, we'll see how this one sort of plays out moving forward. I do think there's a couple of things lining up that could see this minimum sort of come up to test these highs. So again, if we come up and test these highs from here, we've got, that's a 6% move. That's decent. It's nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, certainly something that's doable. This negative divergence, I actually really like that. I mean, everybody knows that I like this one. So we'll have to see how that plays out. China, finally, I was saying yesterday, look, this could have a bit of a squeeze coming off this little sell down. I mean, we saw it back over here. There's this big sell down. Look at how small these things. At the time, this was like, whoa, look at this. Then you look at this, bang, Jesus, that is huge. I mean, we go hmm, huge by China standards. Okay, let's say that 2%, 2.3%. It's actually not as big as I thought. It looks massive on the chart, but you got to remember, China doesn't move a lot. This was going back around, where's this, sort of September last year. This is a 3-month period. This whole thing represents 1%. And it sat in 1% for 3 months and just sort of ground along. So yeah, anyway, pushing back forward over here, I want to see what happens when it comes up to this wick, whether we sort of roll down and sort of get a little bit of a push back down towards the lows, or whether we sort of push back up and sort of go back up into this range, which is fine. Very similar to this previous move over here. But yeah, for the time being, it's a little bit of a nothingness kind of thing. Anyway, that's it from me. I just think what have we done? We've done Aussie, we've done I think we haven't done DXY. This is the end here. You can see DXY on this one, it attempted to get through this range. I still think that, we could see a little bit of a sort of grind up here. We'll have to see. But, certainly the market is holding it on a daily to stay below this zone over here. So again, let's just see how the sort of day sort of plays out. If they take out this wick, we know where it's pretty much going. It's going to come up and retest this level over here. If not, then this lower wick over here. So yesterday's highs and lows are the levels here and here. They're the sort of ones that I'm calling a sort of common. We can see that the market's held it twice at this zone here. It did try to go out through here last night, but obviously found some selling. And no, not quite in line with that lot over there. And let's check is there anything. No, it doesn't line up with anything else. Yeah, so I said, look, pretty much the highs and lows of yesterday, I'm calling that for next direction as to sort of see which way we're going to sort of be moving there. But as I've said a couple of times, ultimately, I think we have more downside to come with DXY. So let's drag these through here. Yeah, I think if we do take out this wick at the top side here, I would say that this is a fairly reasonable area where I've got it marked out here. We've got the underside of this long support through here, and also potential top side of this downtrend channel. So yeah, you take out that wick, this is the area we look for. I expect to sell down from there. If this fails through here, then we could just sort of be seeing potentially just a little sort of like meltdown, and it could come down further over here. I have to sort of see how this one plays out. As I said, not jumping the gun too much on this for the moment. In terms of news quickly, what do we have going on? I think it's fairly quiet into the end of the week. So we had US jobless claims overnight. 250 previously. What was it? Right, revised. 240. Yeah, not 249 to 250. 250 previously. Expected to tick down to 241. Came down 233, and they sold into it. So it didn't really do too much in that sense. We got China CPI and PPI today, 11:30. So hour and a half from now. So 11 o'clock. Be watching for the volume on metal. See what they want to do with it today. We've got our targets in. We've got our plays in, and we'll sort of see how it all sort of finishes up. All right, that's it from me.